next step is to then bring these in and lay them out accordingly. I'm going to select element, pick up the entire object, mirror that over, and I'm going to start with the face first. So I'm going to select on my freeform tool, because we are no longer proportionally correct, because we changed the resolution of our map. So I'm just going to go in here and line up the eyes, and then I'm going to line up the mouth and get the best fit that I can right off the bat. Now many people would just go ahead and paint out the eyes with something skin tone or something dark, but I like to tend to leave them in so I know exactly where the eyelids start and end. Alright, so I have getting a pretty reasonable fit here. And once I have that, I can then add my ears. You can see which faces are affected. So I can go ahead and line up my ear first proportionally. Alright, and then I'll go back and deselect the select element tool. Now I'm going to go in here and select on here, hold my control button down, and just continue to pick up those edges as far up as they go. So I don't know if this one, okay, that belongs to something else. So now what I'm going to do is simply hit the stitch button. And you can see that that stitching is complete. And I will go ahead and do the same on the other ear. And the head pieces as well, this one. Go ahead and fit that right in there. Okay. Now that I have a reasonable fit. Draw that back a little bit so it's a little easier to manage. Again, I'm going to go in and select my edges. All the way up until I no longer see blue being highlighted on the piece that I'm trying to stitch to. And then I hit the stitch button and it stitches it for me. Now, with this method of laying out UVs, the relax tool really doesn't work, because as you relax, then you actually get something that no longer conforms to the dimensions of the face. For instance, I'll go in here to demonstrate this. If I have this layout, you can see that it'd be very easy to pick this clean, put the UVs where they should be. But if I get in here and begin to relax these, you can see very quickly that they will no longer be conformed to my texture map. So if you are doing a creature and you are going to paint that in ZBrush and then apply the texture maps that way, then it would be perfectly fine to use the relax tool and all the others. But for this type of mapping where you're using photography to cut time, it is just much faster to map with planar surfaces, or planar projection mapping, and then go in here and move your verts one at a time. So there's not a lot of cleanup involved usually in this method. So let's check out our model and see how he's doing. Smooth and highlights. Alright, so you can see that we're beginning to get some mapping on him. The other side's not mapped yet, but and these are the pieces that are hanging over that need to be put somewhere else. So, alright, these methods will help you get through the mapping of the entire body. Hands, you may choose to planar map those as well as I do, or you may choose to use a cylindrical map on each finger. I don't tend to do that because, again, I'm using photography, so I usually snap a shot of the upper hand and the lower hand and use that as a map.